Did you know the Amish have quietly been preserving extraordinary fruits that most of us have forgotten ever existed? While modern agriculture focuses on shipping and shelf life, these 25 forgotten treasures offer incredible flavors and health benefits that might just change your garden forever. Plums. Amish orchards commonly grow multiple varieties of plums using specialized cultivation techniques. By attaching branches from different varieties onto a single tree, Amish farmers can grow 5 distinct plum types, from sunset red European to honey sweet Japanese, all in one compact space. These skilled growers also boost their harvests dramatically by planting certain herbs nearby that attract extra pollinators. Amish gardeners often say that their multi-variety plum trees are like family reunions, 5 different personalities sharing the same roots. The real marvel comes after harvest, when Amish families transform these summer treasures into fruit leather without electricity, preserving that sunshine flavor for enjoyment during snowy winter months. This traditional preservation method ensures their families enjoy nutritious fruit even when fresh produce is scarce. Amish children especially enjoy plum leather during winter snowstorms, the sweet preserved fruit reminding them of summer even when snow covers the orchards. Plum trees in Amish orchards typically produce for over 50 years, providing multi-generational sustenance with minimal replanting required. Crab apples. Crab apples are small fruits that play an important role in traditional Amish food preparation. Crab apples transform into the most perfect jellies you've ever tasted, without a single artificial additive. The Amish have passed down specialized knowledge through generations to identify the sweetest varieties among hundreds that exist. An Amish grandfather tells his apprentices that crab apples are like good advice, small, sometimes sour, but make life sweeter when properly processed. Amish farmers say the crab apple is nature's way of teaching us that the sourest beginnings often make the sweetest endings. Beyond their culinary uses, these trees produce stunning spring blossoms that brighten farmsteads while serving a practical purpose, improving nearby apple trees' production by up to 40%. This companion planting approach shows how Amish agriculture blends beauty with function. Small batches of ruby red crabapple jelly line Amish pantry shelves, each jar capturing the perfect balance of tartness and sweetness without artificial ingredients. Crabapple wood is exceptionally dense and prized for making durable tool handles that withstand generations of farm work. Hickory. Hickory trees provide nutritious nuts that are harvested by Amish families in autumn each year. These buttery, maple-flavored nuts were actually considered more valuable than walnuts by early Amish settlers. Finding century-old productive hickory trees requires special knowledge of lost forest patches that have escaped development. Amish elders like to say that hickory trees are like old marriages. They take decades to mature, but provide the sweetest rewards to those who wait. The Amish community treasures these trees not just for their delicious nuts, but also for the distinctive smoky flavor their wood imparts when used for cooking. This natural smoke flavoring transforms ordinary syrup into a premium delicacy sought after by those who appreciate authentic food traditions. The deep connection Amish communities maintain with these native food sources demonstrates their commitment to preserving agricultural diversity that might otherwise be lost. Elderly Amish farmers often identify the best hickory groves by memory, returning to productive trees they've harvested from for decades each autumn. Hickory nuts contain nearly twice the protein of most other nuts, making them a crucial nutritional resource during winter months in Amish communities. Flying Dragon Citrus. The Flying Dragon is a cold, hardy citrus variety that some Amish communities cultivate despite Pennsylvania's freezing winters. The Flying Dragon isn't your typical orange. It's a hardy citrus with distinctive curved thorns and a dwarf growth pattern that makes it look almost otherworldly. What makes this fruit especially unique is that Amish families value its medicinal peel even more than the fruit itself. Amish gardeners say the Flying Dragon citrus got its name because, like a dragon, it breathes fire into your health and looks just as intimidating with its twisted branches and thorns. During winter months, the tangy marmalade made from these fruits brightens otherwise plain meals with a burst of sunshine flavor. The curved thorns and twisted branches of Flying Dragon citrus create conversation among visitors, while its fruit provides medicinal benefits in Amish homes. The flying dragon citrus can survive temperatures as low as minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the most cold-tolerant citrus varieties in the world. Seabuckthornne. Seabuckthornne produces bright orange berries with exceptional vitamin content and multiple uses on Amish farms. Seabuckthorne berries contain a remarkable 12 times more vitamin C than oranges, making them a true superfruit. Amish families have a rather unusual harvesting schedule for these berries. They wait until the dead of winter when the fruits are naturally preserved by the cold. Amish farmers call Seabuckthorne winter's contradiction, the only berry that waits until you're freezing to tell you it's ripe. These resilient plants serve another critical purpose on Amish farms by transforming barren, eroded land into productive orchards through their extensive root systems. The precious oil extracted from these berries becomes a traditional remedy for burns and inflammation in Amish households, where natural remedies are preferred over commercial pharmaceuticals. This practical approach to both land rehabilitation and health maintenance exemplifies the holistic growing practices that have sustained Amish communities for generations. Winter harvests of bright orange buckthorn berries become family gatherings, with children helping collect the nutrient-rich fruits from snow-covered branches. Seabuckthorne roots can expand up to 30 feet horizontally, making them exceptionally effective at preventing soil erosion on Amish hillside farms. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. Elderberry. Elderberries grow along Amish fence rows and provide important medicinal benefits to their communities. Studies show elderberry can reduce cold duration by 70%, explaining why Amish medicine cabinets always contain elderberry syrup. The preparation requires careful knowledge as the stems contain toxic compounds while the berries offer medicinal benefits. Amish herbalists call elderberries nature's mixed message, the only fruit where half says, "Eat me," and half says, "Don't you dare." In Amish communities, this traditional remedy has become quite valuable, with homemade elderberry syrup sometimes selling for $30 a bottle at local markets. Amish herbalists often say that elderberry is the only fruit that works harder than they do. It fights colds all winter while they're busy planning next year's garden. These immune-boosting berries represent just one example of how Amish communities preserve valuable food plants even when mainstream agriculture abandoned them. The medicinal applications of elderberry highlight the integration of food and healthcare in traditional communities. Elder trees planted near Amish homes are believed to bring prosperity and protection, combining practical medicine with traditional folklore that has endured for generations. Gooseberries. Gooseberries were once banned in America until the 1960s due to concerns about a tree disease they could spread. Throughout those restriction years, Amish farmers quietly maintained these plants, preserving varieties that might otherwise have disappeared from American soil. These berries surprise first-time tasters with their remarkable tartness, which creates exceptional jam that balances sweet and tangy perfectly. Amish farmers often says that gooseberries are the outlaws of the berry patch, the only fruit that needed a presidential pardon to grow legally again. The Amish know a secret many modern gardeners miss. Different colored gooseberries indicate different sweetness levels, with red varieties typically being sweeter than green ones. This knowledge, passed down through generations, allows for creating perfectly balanced preserves that showcase the fruit's unique characteristics. The dedication to maintaining this fruit through years of legal restrictions demonstrates the important role Amish communities play in agricultural preservation. Older Amish gardeners teach youngsters to identify different gooseberry varieties by color, each shade indicating a different level of sweetness for perfect pies. Amish preserved gooseberry varieties have become valuable genetic resources for modern breeding programs seeking disease-resistant traits lost in commercial cultivation. Juneberries, Saskatoons. Juneberries resemble blueberries but contain higher levels of protein and fiber, representing traditional knowledge exchanged between Native Americans and Amish communities. These nutritional powerhouses ripen in early summer, as their name suggests, providing an early harvest when other fruits are still developing. What makes Juneberries truly special is their distinctive almond-like aftertaste, a flavor profile you won't find in any other berry. Amish bakers have perfected simple muffin recipes that convert even the most skeptical berry tasters into devoted fans. The Amish say Juneberries are the overachievers of the fruit world. They show up early, work harder nutritionally, and still manage to taste better than their other family members. Amish bakers incorporate the protein-rich Juneberries into breakfast foods, appreciating their early summer arrival when other fruits are still developing. Juneberry trees can produce fruit for over 30 years and survive temperatures as cold as negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, making them one of the hardiest fruit-bearing plants in Amish orchards. Jujub, Chinese date. Jujub trees produce apple-like fruits in late summer that develop a sweet date-like flavor when dried, making them versatile additions to Amish orchards. The jujube, sometimes called Chinese date, represents the Amish talent for adopting useful plants regardless of their origin. These remarkable trees show incredible drought resistance, making them increasingly valuable as climate patterns shift. Amish farmers call the jujube the world traveler that decided to settle down with the plain folk. What many visitors don't realize is that jujubes serve both culinary and medicinal purposes in Amish communities, continuing ancient health traditions. The practical approach to farming shown in Amish communities often incorporates plants from around the world, provided they serve multiple purposes and thrive with minimal intervention. This balance of tradition with practical innovation ensures their agricultural practices remain sustainable even as environmental conditions change. The remarkable drought tolerance of jujube trees makes them increasingly valued in Amish orchards, producing date-like fruits with minimal watering requirements. Jujube trees can live and produce fruit for over 400 years, potentially serving dozens of Amish generations from a single planting. Persimmon. Persimmons are distinctively astringent fruits that require autumn frost to transform them from unpalatably bitter to deliciously sweet. The Amish call it the divine fruit because it requires autumn frost to transform from unbearably astringent to gloriously sweet. These orange fruits become natural sweeteners in Amish baked goods once they've ripened properly. Amish farmers refer to unripe persimmons as nature's practical explanation of what bitter disappointment really means. What few people know is that persimmon seeds once served as buttons during the Civil War when materials were scarce. As autumn fades, persimmons offer their sweet gift when properly ripened by frost. Amish families monitor persimmon trees after first frost, knowing exactly when the astringent fruits transform into their famously sweet, caramel-like delicacy. The distinctive spoon bowl knife pattern inside persimmon seeds is used by some Amish elders for traditional weather prediction, with each shape supposedly indicating different winter conditions ahead. Serviceberry. Serviceberry is a Native American fruit with historical connections to spring funeral services and community gatherings after winter isolation. As the ground thawed enough for burial services, these beautiful white blossom trees would bloom, signaling a return to community gatherings. Their blueberry almond-flavored berries have been a staple in Amish communities for generations. Serviceberries have so many names like shadbush, sarviceberry, etc., because they're too humble to stick with just one. Walking through Amish country in late spring, you'll often see these dual-purpose trees lining properties, beautiful as ornamentals, but practical as food sources. Amish children often race to pick serviceberries before the birds do, only to find their grandmothers have quietly gathered bucketfuls while they were still sleeping. Traditional Amish pies combine serviceberries with rhubarb for a perfect balance of sweet and tart that has converted many visitors into serviceberry enthusiasts. Spring gatherings often center around serviceberry harvest in Amish communities, the timing of the fruit connecting generations through seasonal traditions. The wood of serviceberry trees is exceptionally hard and was traditionally used by Amish craftsmen for special hand tools requiring strength and durability. Meddlers are unusual fruits that must become soft and appear overripe before they develop their distinctive flavor, a process preserved in Amish communities. This unusual fruit needs to look practically rotten before it's edible, a process called bledding that softens the flesh and develops its unique flavor. Amish families have preserved this medieval fruit with Shakespearean connections when most modern orchards abandoned it completely. Amish gardeners tell visitors that meddlers are the only fruits that prefer to be eaten in their retirement years. The fruit remains rock hard until after the first frost, when it begins to soften and turn brown. Only then does its caramel applesauce flavor emerge, rewarding those patient enough to wait. Amish communities aptly nickname it the patience fruit, representing their values of waiting for good things in their proper time. Meddler trees can produce fruit for over a century, with some European specimens still bearing fruit after 150 years of continuous production. Quince. Quince fruits emit a powerful fragrance and require cooking to transform from hard and astringent to sweet and flavorful in Amish kitchens. Though Amish growers prize this yellow fruit for its intense scent and flavor, few visitors realize it must be cooked to be enjoyed. Quinces are the only fruit that requires a formal introduction to fire before becoming friendly with your taste buds. Amish families keep quinces in kitchen bowls as natural air fresheners, then cook them when guests complain about the hard decorations that look too tempting not to eat. In its raw state, quince remains wood-hard and astringent, but something magical happens when heat is applied. The tough flesh softens, the color transforms from pale yellow to deep rose, and the flavor develops into what Amish cooks call poor man's marmalade. The remarkable longevity of these trees, often producing fruit for over 75 years, makes them particularly valuable in Amish orchards where sustainability matters. Quince seeds contain a natural pectin that Amish cooks extract to thicken preserves made from other less gelatinous fruits. Pawpaw. Pawpaws are Native American fruits with custard-like flesh that combine flavors of vanilla, banana, and mango, historically enjoyed by early Americans, including George Washington. In isolated Amish communities, however, the pawpaw remains a treasured autumn treat with its custard-like flesh and complex flavor that somehow combines vanilla, banana, and mango. Amish elders call pawpaws the tropical fruit that got lost and decided Pennsylvania was exotic enough. These shy flowering trees present unique challenges, often requiring hand pollination with a special paintbrush technique that Amish children learn from their elders. The short shelf life of pawpaws, sometimes lasting just a day or two after ripening, has kept them out of commercial markets, but Amish families have developed special freezing methods to preserve this fleeting treasure. The difficulty in growing and storing pawpaws makes them all the more valued during their brief season, usually celebrated with community gatherings where this tropical-tasting native fruit takes center stage. Pawpaw trees contain natural insecticides in their leaves and bark, allowing Amish farmers to grow them without any chemical sprays while still producing perfect fruit. Black mulberry. Black mulberries produce abundant dark fruits in early summer that stain hands and clothing purple, a telltale sign of harvest season in Amish communities. Unlike their wild relatives, cultivated black mulberries offer a perfect balance of sweetness and tartness that makes them ideal for preserves and desserts. Mulberry season is when children temporarily join the Purple Hand Society, a club no amount of soap can get you out of. The Amish value these trees not only for their abundant fruit, but also for their drought resistance and minimal care requirements. Amish mothers know which children have been sneaking mulberries by checking their clothing. The purple stains never lie, even when little mouths do. The forgotten tradition of mulberry wine for special occasions still continues in some Amish settlements, with closely guarded family recipes passed down through generations. Harvesting requires perfect timing and creative strategies to beat the birds to the crop. A single mature black mulberry tree can produce enough fruit to make over 50 gallons of preserves, providing abundant harvests with virtually no maintenance for over 75 years. Fig. Fig trees in Amish communities can live for multiple generations, serving as living connections between family members, past and present. These Mediterranean treasures require special protection to survive brutal northern winters, with Amish growers developing ingenious methods involving burlap, straw, and strategic pruning. Amish gardeners call figs the bashful fruit because they hide their flowers inside themselves instead of showing off like apple blossoms. First-time harvesters are often puzzled by the fig's unusual inside-out flower structure, which actually keeps the blossoms hidden inside the developing fruit. The traditional honey dipping technique transforms good figs into extraordinary preserves that appear at special occasions throughout the year. Winter protection techniques for fig trees vary between Amish communities, each family adapting methods to ensure Mediterranean treasures survive northern cold. Some Amish fig trees have documented histories dating back over 150 years, with cuttings passed down and protected through multiple generations of the same family. Ground cherry. Ground cherries grow inside small paper-like husks and have a surprising pineapple-like flavor despite being related to tomatoes. Related to tomatoes, but with a completely different flavor profile, ground cherries drop from the plant when perfectly ripe, leading to their nickname, Nature's Gumball Machine. Ground cherries are the only fruit modest enough to wear its own wrapper to dinner. Amish children earn their first gardening experiences collecting these self-seeding fruits that volunteer abundantly year after year. The plant's resilience matches the Amish approach to agriculture, producing abundant results with minimal intervention. Traditional ground cherry pie recipes have passed through generations, creating a unique dessert that puzzles and delights first-time tasters. The self-seeding nature of ground cherries provides reliable harvests with minimal planting effort each year. Ground cherries contain unusual compounds that naturally extend their shelf life to over a month when kept in their husks, far longer than most soft fruits, making them particularly valuable in Amish households without refrigeration. Muskadine Grape. Muscadines are native American grapes with thick skins and distinctive flavor profiles that have been preserved in Amish communities through traditional preparation methods. Ranging from bronze to deep purple, muscadines have been transformed by Amish families into heirloom jellies and wines with complex flavor profiles that showcase their unique characteristics. Amish vintners call muscadines the armored grapes because their thick skins can withstand everything except determined teeth and scissors. While conventional growers abandoned these native grapes for easier-to-grow European varieties, the Amish valued their remarkable disease resistance that eliminated the need for chemical spraying. What many people don't realize is that the thick skin contains more antioxidants than any other grape variety, making them not just delicious, but exceptionally nutritious. The disease resistance of muscadines demonstrates the practical advantages of maintaining native fruit varieties. A single properly tended muscadine vine can live and produce for over 100 years, with some documented specimens over 400 years old still bearing fruit on Amish properties. Hardy kiwi. Hardy kiwis are small, grape-sized relatives of commercial kiwi fruit that can be eaten whole without peeling and contain 5 times more vitamin C than oranges. These diminutive relatives of fuzzy supermarket kiwis thrive in Amish country, where farmers train them on specially designed trellises to manage their explosive growth rate, sometimes adding 20 feet in a single season. Hardy kiwi vines grow so fast you can practically hear them stretching, the only plant that needs daily haircuts all summer. With 5 times the vitamin C content of oranges, hardy kiwis represent perfectly practical Amish fruit cultivation, beautiful, nutritious, and low maintenance. The vines require minimal spraying compared to other fruits, aligning with the Amish preference for reducing chemical inputs whenever possible. Their ability to produce abundant harvests in smaller spaces makes them ideal for Amish homesteads where land efficiency matters. A single well-established hardy kiwi vine can produce up to 100 pounds of fruit per season, enough to supply an entire Amish family with vitamin C throughout the winter months. Maypop wild passion fruit. Maypops are native passion fruits whose hollowed shells can be used decoratively after the flavorful interior has been consumed by Amish families. The alien-looking purple flowers rely on specific native bees for pollination, creating mutually beneficial relationships in Amish gardens where chemical insecticides are avoided. The maypop flowers look so strange, looks like they're practicing for their Halloween costumes all summer long. Beyond their ornamental value, maypops serve practical purposes in Amish households where their calming properties are used in teas that promote better sleep. The traditional methods for preserving the short-lived fruits, including special syrups and fruit leathers, showcase the Amish commitment to using every part of what they grow. The otherworldly purple flowers and edible fruits of maypop vines serve multiple purposes in Amish gardens, from ornamental beauty to practical medicine. Archaeological evidence suggests Native Americans taught early colonial settlers about maypop cultivation over 400 years ago, with the knowledge eventually passing to Amish communities who preserve these traditions today. Cornelian Cherry. Cornelian cherries are early flowering dogwood relatives that produce tart red fruits in late winter when few other fresh fruits are available. This dogwood relative produces tart fruits that ripen during a brief 2-week window, requiring perfect timing to harvest. Amish families say Cornelian cherries are winter's way of apologizing for sticking around too long. Long before modern medicine, Amish families use Cornelian cherry juice to reduce fever in their home remedies, a practice that continues in some communities today. The unusual timing of this harvest, often while snow still covers the ground, makes it especially valuable in preserving traditions. Roman soldiers once carried these dried fruits on long marches for quick energy, much like Amish farmers pack them for long days working in fields. The winter availability of Cornelian cherries provides nutritional diversity during seasonal scarcity. The wood of Cornelian cherry trees is among the hardest and densest of all temperate trees, traditionally used by Amish craftsmen for specialized woodworking projects requiring extraordinary durability. Alpine strawberry. Alpine strawberries produce small white or red fruits with intense flavor continuously from spring until fall frost in Amish garden edges and containers. Unlike their larger red cousins that produce berries for a few weeks, alpine strawberries deliver continuous harvests from spring until fall frost. Amish gardeners refer to alpine strawberries as whispers rather than shouts. What they lack in size, they more than make up for in conversation-stopping flavor. Their compact growth makes them perfect for growing in small spaces, often tucked into corners of Amish kitchen gardens or arranged in decorative containers near doorways for easy snacking. Amish children earn their first money selling these special treats to neighbors and visitors, learning business skills alongside gardening knowledge. The remarkable flavor intensity packed into these diminutive berries makes them highly sought after despite their small size. Alpine strawberry plants can live and produce for up to a decade with minimal care, unlike commercial varieties that typically decline after just 2 seasons, making them particularly valuable in Amish gardens where perennial production is prized. Coosa dogwood fruit. Coosa dogwood trees produce edible pink fruits with tropical-tasting custard-like pulp in addition to their ornamental spring blossoms on Amish properties. Coosa dogwoods serve multiple purposes in Amish communities: stunning ornamentals, practical boundary markers, and surprising food sources. Amish children describe Coosa fruits as porcupines that decided to become strawberries on the outside but pudding on the inside. The custard-like interior tastes like tropical punch, though careful processing is required to avoid the irritating skin pieces. This tree exemplifies the Amish approach to landscaping, where beauty and utility blend seamlessly together. The pink fruits ripen in late summer, just as other harvests demand attention, providing a refreshing snack during hot working days. Late summer finds Amish families carefully processing pink Coosa fruits, extracting their tropical-tasting pulp while avoiding the irritating skin pieces. Coosa dogwood trees can live for over 100 years and are one of the few ornamental trees that increase fruit production with age, making them especially valuable heritage plantings on Amish properties. Nanking cherry. Nanking cherry bushes produce abundant bright red fruits with disease resistance that makes them particularly valuable in Amish orchards where spraying is minimized. Unlike standard cherries that suffer from numerous diseases, Nanking cherries show remarkable resistance that eliminates the need for spraying, aligning perfectly with Amish preferences for low-intervention growing methods. Amish farmers say Nanking cherries are like the quiet neighbor who somehow raises perfect children without ever raising their voice. The community harvesting days centered around these prolific plants have become important social traditions, where families gather to pick together while catching up on community news. Heritage recipes for preserves made from this forgotten fruit vary between settlements, with each community claiming their version tastes best. The bushes serve multiple functions in Amish landscapes: beautiful spring blossoms, summer fruit, and dense growth that provides windbreaks for more delicate plants. Disease-resistant Nanking cherries thrive with minimal care in Amish landscapes, producing abundant bright red fruits without chemical interventions. A mature Nanking cherry hedge can produce up to 30 pounds of fruit per linear yard, making it one of the most space-efficient fruits in Amish food production systems. Aronia Chokeberry. Aronia berries contain the highest antioxidant content of any fruit, 300% more than blueberries, and have been grown by Amish farmers long before they became popular in health food stores. The deep purple-black fruits contain the highest antioxidant content of any fruit, an impressive 300% more than blueberries. Despite their astringent taste that explains the chokeberry nickname, Amish cooks discovered their flavor transforms beautifully in certain recipes, particularly when combined with apples or sweeter fruits. Amish farmers call Aronia the medicine berry, the only fruit that makes you healthier just by making a face at its tartness. The simple juice blend that balances Aronia's powerful flavor while preserving its health benefits has become a staple in many Amish households. Traditional Amish recipes balance the intensity of antioxidant-rich Aronia berries with complementary ingredients, making their powerful nutrition more palatable. These 25 forgotten fruits reveal the Amish wisdom of preserving what truly matters: flavor, nutrition, and diversity, rather than what ships well or looks perfect. Their gardens remind us that sometimes the most valuable treasures are those passed down through generations, quietly growing just beyond the edge of our modern attention.